All right, what's up, frogs? Another week of the decoding with Dregz. Just taking the simplistic looks at the charts, seeing what interpretations we can make out of Thor calls, and kind of reading between the lines and seeing what's good. Maybe something you haven't seen before, or just something so simple we just chose to ignore it. Let's see this place I like to start. Kind of in my scanning when I sit down. I always mentioned before the good old Sol BTC pair. It's one of my favorite pairs to trade, so I do like to see it. It's almost like a kind of a weighted test and seeing how Sol's doing, its strength compared to good old Bitcoin. Looks like that 4-hour hit just recently, actually. It looks nice on that 0.06 mark, and like you can pull that up here. I think I marked it before. I personally wasn't hanging out there for my buy. I'm just a little bit lower. I probably should push my entry up though. Not to say it doesn't look like it could slip down though, but definitely a nice little call and looking to be a jump in that area. I think last week I looked before leaving that line up, but it looks like it's pushed up to that mark up at the 0.0028. And whenever I see stuff like that, sometimes I just move my lines around. What could have been a great line for me last week from what Thor was giving me, it's like it's moving, it's constant movement and a constant flow, so you can't, it's always moving, so the lines are always moving. And of course I'll just put its TP for that like at the middle on TP2. Just gets a nice little range there, so I like to set it just roughly there, just to paints me a nice little picture and updating that. I had the previous the 0.0025 because it's following a TP1 of that 1 day short that hit what was it, around the 18th. That hit real nice, and it's been following along with what Thor had given us. And so with 1 day calls, I do like their TPs and their invalidations, but right now it's just their TPs that I'd be looking at, and that TP1 was the area I was looking to buy back in. But because I like to do heavy loads when I trade these things, I'm not really jumping on each and every trade. Plus I trade on the central exchange, so I don't like to incur a lot of fees, and so when I do make a trade, we're making like 20% range on that or something with that BTC and Sol stacking. So in this case, I see the TP3, and I acknowledge that, especially in the 1 day. I respect it, so that's why I put that one down there. Kind of makes sense. So if I put, for my weight, I would probably put 50% of the bag on that bottom line, but maybe spread it out on the top here and DCA with the other half that I intend to move into, in this case, Bitcoin into Solana, and then trade back up when it reaches those points. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm seeing. It does look like, from what I read from that too, what am I seeing? I feel like looks, well, that's kind of the next step. I'll just scoot over to this good old Sol calls, and we'll follow that. Yeah, let's see what we had last week there too. A whole bunch of calls popping up, which is always fun to dive into, especially on the full. Oh yeah. Seemingly a whole lot of noise. But let's see how it corresponds to anything new. The first, so last week, yeah, these are all going to be new calls floating in, especially on the 4 hours. So that's nice. Before we had 176, I think that was must have been a 4 hour or 1 hour last week too. Yeah, 170. Yeah, probably 179. That 178. And there, I just try to see the bottom outliers. So you see the 151 at the bottom there. Oh, look at that. Something also was called last week there too. But I'll just move that down to say 151. As it's, you know, 150, 151. But hey, I like to take the lower call. And they're both made on the same day. And they're invalidations at 204. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. But 204 is a common one there. And going under 180 does invalidate a lot of these. So it looks like when you see that, like I mentioned again before, that when those invalidation lines kind of dance on usually a support zone, so when that common and usually that 4 hours where I'm really listening to on the longer term of these calls, I see 180 going down will confirm the 150s for me, at least on that time frame. So then I could start maybe managing my portfolio in that manner, or kind of trading, just knowing that I might be able to get a better price for Sol in the near future. And if it does break, I know that maybe on the Sol BTC trade, either they both go down together and the correlation remains the same, or Sol dips down faster than BTC and fills a lower entry for me on that Sol BTC pair. But yeah, to continue that, for me, of course, I always let AutoThor run most of my Sol trades. But if I were to jump in a trade, I'd probably look at that 176 line. But that was also made last week. No, that's a top zone in the middle of that 179. Those are good. But the ranges aren't really too crazy. Of course, if you leverage in, that's nice. But let's see. We had some at the top range there too. The shorts, if it changes its behavior, just bounces off maybe that invalidation at 180, because if it dips down, these shorts go away. So kind of defeating that kind of little more bullish sentiment at the moment on that lower time frame. But if it bounces off that 180 and shows strength there, and you can see it's kind of fighting, doing a little dance there, hopefully it just shoots back up and hits one of those shorts at 222 and 242. Those were made a while ago and have yet to be invalidated, so it's still really nice to see those. Hopefully we get there at one point, but I do again just kind of mark some of those. I pick one, like the higher one in that regard, just kind of builds me a nice little zone where I can kind of focus on and kind of guide me through some stuff. I think I made this one, that was last week, so we'll just take off some of those. Yeah, it seems to be the vibe. Even on a shorter term, you got some newer calls jumping in, but they're still not fresh as of today. So in those shorter time frames, I feel like when we get something and the 15 minutes aren't hitting and they're like 2 or 3 days old, I don't know. I'm not super hyped on those. That's kind of they kind of get stale faster in my eyes. Like if it just hasn't hit, I'd kind of ignore that and we'll move on to something on the 1 hour that, oh look, was made today. So I'd be listening to this guy a lot more than maybe the 15 minutes I saw over there. So it looks pretty nice, but yeah, no, hopefully I would say, hey, ride Sol up. You could take some profits at the 200 or 244. Why not? That'll be a fun short to hit if one of those things did hit, though. Let's see again. 240. Oh yeah. Let's see. 244. Just bounces back down there. Look at all 18% dip from that top and through that range 20. That would be really, really cool to see, but who knows? One trade that I am in, it's pretty interesting, has been having fun with these past couple weeks, is RNDR. Render. RNDR. There it is. RNDR. Hell yeah, there we go. Where's that 4 hour? That sweet little 4 hour. So when, geez, just look at that. Oh man, just respecting that pink little box. That's what we like to see. I'm all about it. Definitely put some little more leverage into this zone at the bottom. Kind of really confident about this one. I think I had a TP set at 1096 to shave off the leverage, and that's somewhere kind of between the TP2 and 3. I'm a bit more bullish on that on the shorter term because, again, maybe some fresher calls. Oh, I looked earlier today and saw some of these pop up, when I was checking some trades. It's still in the same area, and I was buying down, so one would say slightly a failing trade at the moment. Hasn't failed, but is currently in the red. Let's see. Let's buy a little bit. So let's see, because it's real out here. This is just what happens. Oh, not bad. Good old 3%. It's one of the things that, I could have stop loss, but I haven't acknowledged any losses either. So I'm not heavy leveraged in, so it doesn't really, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. And what I did before, I think there was a call, maybe 1040, or it was, around like 1040, I think was a call. And I think an hour time frame, I took it, went down, it filled. And then I filled again down at like the 945 to bring my average down quite a bit. So that's good. I'm just kind of using leverage there to help me out. Of course, it's putting a little more risk on my side, but again, from the, let's see, that local top, even this one here for being conservative is still about 18%. So I feel like that's a sufficient little drop, and if it does do a gap down, I'm not too worried, because hey, if my liquidation is at 3, well, there's a whole lot of other shit going on that would be going down if something gets that low. So I think mine is around there. I'm confident we're not going to take a big old dip like that. Anyways, seeing that there's no more long calls, kind of scanning through, that's the only call, the active one, the 4-hour. None other really hanging out. So I know for me, it kind of gives me a little more confidence. It's not seeing a big zone there that it wants to kind of aim for. So that added to my confidence in that regard. Or currently, one could pop up, but hey, I'll just have to kind of analyze that. And if one did, let's say one popped up at like 850, I'd be monitoring, watching, and hopefully just position myself to be ready for that if it did go there. What do I usually do? If I was worried about it dipping, I would try to shave some of my leverage at break even or at some of a little discount. So I'll try to maybe match up that little short run there. If things do get a little weird, I'll try to, I'll de-leverage myself. I won't exit the trade. I'll just take a little loss on some of that extra on the top in this current status that I'm in. So when I'm down here, I could put more gas back in and hit it, because at this point I think there should be a bounce, but who knows? But that's the fun of the game. So yeah, other points I just left on because they're, again, just old zones that were hitting for me earlier. You got some newer ones came in. I do like that TP for the long at 940 at 1090. But there's a couple before it. So if I was kind of playing it a bit more, smart, I may lower my TP just a little bit to match this short. It just maybe not my goal or what exactly I planned. And since I'm using drift too, I might want to go to 78 cents over 79 cents on the lower side. But taking that little bite, hey, it's still good. And I like at this point, my first TP is usually, if I'm being conservative, trying to shave off my leverage there. And so whatever rides up from the rest of the way generally is just going to be my principal that I put in. And having those extra zones and having that deleverage allows it. So when it does hit this zone and it goes back to 97 or 99 or maybe below my current average, that's when I'll start tapping back in or DCAing. And it does become maybe a longer trade, but it does just open me up. So when it does rocket up, I'm kind of, I am ready. I'm there and not chasing anything. So that's something where I have this overall bullish sense on render. And I just kind of priming myself up, building my bag on the way down, and just trying not to realize loss, trying to just make my DCA, my entry, lower. And that's a big kind of little strategy I like to run. And the RSI...
Sir, I've never heard of this coin. What is it?
Oh, good old render.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Grinder.
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 It's so bad. I love it. Let's see
It's
this.
fucking great, man.
now.
You take that back.
Hey.
Take that back.
that grind.
Legendary.
Grinder, the sandwich. I was hungry.
Dude, that's what I think every time I hear it. I'm just like, grinder.
Fucking shit. Yeah, no doubt.
It's like, all right, I'm about to pop this coffee and I'm going to go in. I'm going to be like Dregz and be a grinder.
The grinder. Anyone's got that coffee grinder?
Oh, I got the coffee grounder, dude, for sure.
Of course, we got plenty other charts and stuff to look at. I don't know if anyone has anything they're following, wants a deeper look at. Those are the ones that I was currently looking at. Kira's taken up
the tokenomics of render.
I have
pretty
not.
interesting when you look at if you look at like render on Bird Eye and just see how many tokens there are and all this stuff. Interesting.
Huh.
Correlations.
Damn, that's one of the things I never learned how to. I
love tokenomics.
Tokenomics.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Look how many total supply. Oh, interesting. Interesting where how that was probably chosen. Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
I've seen this somewhere before. I don't.
Yeah, somewhere before. 365 million fully diluted market cap.
Ooh, about 10 times. Oh, not 10 times. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like 10 times. Yeah.
Yeah, just with 10x of the holders on Solana at least. You know, I don't know if if it has. It's counting other wallets, but
all I'm saying is, I noticed that I was looking at different tokens, and I'm a tokenomics guy, and I was just looking at that. I was like, quite interesting how that number is just out of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah. Right. That just number comes out of nowhere.
Look at all the daddies. I saw all those masks.
Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, we got the same thing, right?
Look at the tokenomics, bro. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh damn. Yeah.
Scroll down on render. See the 40% top 10 holders for Kira, 15%, bro.
Oh.
More distributed.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fucking only half, more than half.
Yeah.
Which they probably, I think you can stake, right? It may have staking.
Yeah, they might have some staking, but yeah, damn, no, that's true.
Yeah, dude, that's why I like tokenomics, bro.
It's mintable.
And it's mintable.
Mutable.
Yeah.
Freezable.
Dude.
Run it.
Bro, we're onto something here. We're onto something here.
Oh, I'm down. Oof. How exciting.
Wow, how bullish, bro. I noticed that the other day. I was like, interesting.
A lot of interesting things we're looking at here.
lot of correlations. I'm like a relative detective in IRL job. I'm like, oh yeah, no such thing as coincidences.
Yeah, not too. Yeah.
Grinder.
Yeah, Grinder. I love it.
Grinder.
Grinder.
Weed grinder.
Weed
Grinder.
Grind it. Damn it.
Grind it, dude.
Grinder.
Dude, that is
I'm ground.
I love that shit, dude. That's part of frogs, man. Grinder.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Kita.
It's fucking great.
Trust me,
I
bro.
love that shit.
Trust the bro. Oh yeah, my green lines that never got
Kita.
purchased.
The trend is my friend until the end.
Kita.
That shit gets me every time.
Dude, yeah, some of these.
What up, motherfuckers?
That's the one. That's the one that gets me.
Yeah. I've literally had
Trust me,
started a
bro.
conversation with that Andy one. Oh, hey, man.
Bro.
Good.
Yeah, what up, Andy? Oh,
How's
where
it
is he?
going?
Oh, he's not in here. Sad.
So,
Talking with an
45.
AI, man.
Dregz, can you confirm if Kira is going to send to life-changing, wife-changing amounts, or
Oh, man.
more than that?
Not financial
When
advice,
Kira calls
but,
on Thor, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's already.
I can't do my own research. I need you to directly give me financial advices.
Yeah, so.
Exclamation
very
mark,
close.
welcome in the chat, and you have all the information.
I've already told my work.
Information you need.
I've already told my work I'm leaving in a month. I'm about to make a move. And then Kira decided to pump, and oh man, everyone knows I'm checked out, dude.
Everyone knows to walk in, I look at my boss in the eyes, and just like, hey, I am boss. I am captain now.
Like, sure, I'll do that thing.
Sure, I'll do that thing. Okay, I'm out. See you guys. No 2 weeks.
It's all good.
I got Kira and Frogs fucked, so see you guys.
Yeah, frogs fucking right now, guys. I gotta answer this.
Did you
That's the
quit your job, bro?
I'm doing it because I'm moving, not because I'm
Right.
on my way.
Yeah, right, dude.
My
He's walking
journey-
in there because of Kira, dude. Fucking lying.
I wish. Like,
Now we know who KiraWhale.soul is.
Sitting on a fucking
oh,
hammer
no,
frog,
no,
you
we
know?
Musa in the chat. Fucking.
Actually. That might be the one guy who has enough Kira, you know? Maybe.
Yeah.
I could
Just
found
kidding,
a whole
no one
nation.
has enough.
Yeah, he could found a whole nation.
One Bitcoin is gonna, or one Bitcoin, lol. One Kira is gonna retire your ass, man.
Oh
So,
man.
imagine.
Damn. Jupe definitely looks like a good trade too. It's been looking at that one. What's that 50?
Oh, Jupe is a great buy right now. I'm thinking about DCAing right now.
Yeah. That looks nice.
Showing a little strength off the uptrend that it's in.
Yeah, but then being wary of that nice little, I'd actually probably scoot it up. I want to get that low. I'd be happy. I don't give a crap about a couple cents. Just let it rest on top of those wicks. Front run their ass.
Yeah, boy. You gotta front run them, dude. There's people who are thinking like front running also, so you gotta front run the front runners.
Yeah, dude. It's always got to be ahead of the game. Yeah, it's
Those
looking,
motherfuckers, man.
looking good off that, and it definitely looks like it would just pop up on that 15-minute call. Maybe continue on down to that 30, but less and less. What is that? The 15 at one. Oh, it's a. I'm looking at validation. Yeah, this would still be valid if it hits the TPs on that. So, yeah, that's a fun little trade.
It's 1.5 hours until we're all filthy rich boys. Woohoo!
Dude, woo! 6% swing there. Nice. What is this guy? Oh man, I can't. Oh yeah, I'm excited. It's like Christmas, man. It's great. Oh, look at that. Similar TP, but 20% swing. That looks like fun. If you nailed that, you could get a 6% and an 18%. Wow, that's pretty dope. And I didn't do shit. Just sit here, drew a couple lines, and just run off to Drift or Jupiter and put that in the limit orders. I see that, and all these, you know, I do and always say, it's always good to pay attention. And I think the worst I've used Thor was being too checked out of stuff, and it works for a certain amount of time, especially these shorter time frame calls, but it's good to do a health check on your trades and make sure there's no other calls popping up. So it looks good now, but you know, who knows, could go down further on another call. But that's why also when I enter a trade, that's why I like Drift and other places where I can put my TP when I'm entering in a trade, so I could, whenever it hits, it already has a sell point, you know, it's make that little scalp trade. Honestly, that's what did it, was just scalping and throwing the chips in Akira. And then they went, 20x on you?
Dude, I've been scalping, putting it into Kira while I sleep. That's been my game for the past few days.
That is the way